Hello, so I just wanted to go through a real quick little refactoring that I went through, and maybe it can help someone out there somewhere. So I have this set error function, which is using lambda lenses, and that's not exactly necessary to understand the refactoring that we're going to do. But so I've got this over function here, which takes a lens and then some sort of a function, and then the object to apply that to. And then I've got this really nasty thing that I had written in here, where, it's just difficult to read. What does it do? It's an inline lambda, which is not always bad, but in this case, I get the feeling that this was probably something that should not be an inline lambda. It just, glancing at this, it wasn't obvious what it was doing. So my first step was to pull this inline lambda out. And so if we look at what that might look like, we still have the lens, and now I'll get an append unique function is what I was going to call it, because that's basically what it was going to do. It would take a message, append it to an array, which is what we see right here doing with the append. So that's going to append an object to an array. And then unique, which is another lambda function, basically just returns the unique values from that list. So it removes out any duplicates. And I called it append unique. And so this ends up looking a lot cleaner because we have names for these things. But then the problem with this is this append unique is not really append unique, because it's a really bad name for this. Because really what this is this is append unique when we're in a context of a function or some other context that we have an error property somewhere, and that error property has a message property. So this function really has no way of being reused outside of here. And so then I thought, well, what if we were to actually create like a legit append unique function? What would that look like? Because it would be really cool if I could have that function sitting somewhere outside of this set error function. As it turns out, we can absolutely do that. So here is actually what append unique would look like. And it might be what you would expect. We're just composing these two functions. So we're going to append, and then we're going to do take the result of that, and we're going to compose that with the unique function. And so what we end up with here is a function append unique that, given an A and an array of A, will return a new array of A. The curry here is just so that you can see an actual use of it here. So what that does is just going to mean that I don't have to pass the A and the array of A at the same time. I can pass the A and then have the array of A come in, which makes it look a lot nicer here rather than having to write an inline lambda and saying something like, X append unique, like something like that. So rather than dealing with all of that, I can just query it, and then it all composes. And so now you have it. I have an append unique function that can be used anywhere. It's not tied to this set error, which removed the lines of code in the set error. And now I have a helper function that can be used anywhere else. If we look back at the initial one, you see that we had 2 lines that were all squished up. We have gone to 3 lines of code now. But you see that I think they're a lot more readable. Append unique is a valid name, and hopefully we can use that at other places down the road. Thanks.